Scott Disick, Kourtney Kardashian is fake. On last night's Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Scott Disick had a heart-to-heart with Kim about how he and Kourtney are, or aren't, getting along. Kim had hoped that she'd cleared up some things. This promo for next week shows that Scott is still getting into conflict with Kourtney. In the video below, Scott calls Kourtney fake in a heated confrontation. If you've read our latest Keeping Up with the Kardashians recap, you know that, well, Scott still sucks. He had a heart-to-heart with Kim, who was basically his sister-in-law for ages, not literally, since he and Kourtney never married. And Kim will always be the aunt of his 3 children, Mason, Penelope, and Rain. Kim noted, to the camera, that it's taking Scott longer, or perhaps a lot longer, to deal with his breakup from Kourtney than Kourtney has taken. Probably because Kourtney is a grown-up while Scott is just old enough that he should be handling this more maturely. But Scott has every conceivable privilege under the sun, so we suppose that it's no surprise that he isn't responding well to not getting his way, in this case, to not being back in Kourtney's life. Even before last night's Keeping Up with the Kardashians aired, we knew that Scott Disick was whining about hooking up with models. Speaking to Kim Kardashian, who mostly managed to keep a straight face as Scott talked about how miserable he was, Scott complained that hooking up with so many young, hot models in Cannes and beyond didn't do anything for him. He felt unfulfilled, where he pointed to Kourtney's vacation with Yunus Benjamin as something that he envied because Kourtney was enjoying a happy, content bond with just one man. Scott seemed to be positively blown away when Kim said that she figured that Kourtney would be happy for him if he settled down with one woman. Again, there's nothing wrong with sleeping around if everyone involved is cool with it, but it's hard to keep that kind of thing secret from your kids when your family is famous and your sexual misadventures are so public. Maybe that's what inspired Scott to go steady, as they used to say back in olden times, with Sophia Richie. But apparently that pep talk only had a limited effect. Because next week, we'll see Scott basically blow up at Kourtney. As you can see below, Scott is clearly stressed after having been left out of a Kardashian family event. Kourtney explains it very matter-of-factly, "You think that you can hurt me and still get invited to everything?" Scott clearly doesn't take it well. We don't know what he's replying to, directly, because promos are heavily edited and sometimes misleading, but he appears to direct his ire at Kourtney. It's funny how fake you really are. That is. Very rude and very confrontational. These two are going to have to work things out, because Scott and Kourtney will always share their 3 children. It will be interesting to see upcoming promos and the episode itself to get a much clearer idea of how this confrontation goes down. And it will be nice, eventually, to see how it all gets resolved. Because Scott and Kourtney can't co-parent while they are at each other's throats like this. Something, as they say, has got to give. And that something is Scott and his big ol' ego.